So, after adding an user, what is your duty? You need to make him login credential, right? So right now, you can add a password to him without adding a password. Also, you can log in. Okay, so I'll just show you. So click on ALM desktop link. Okay, so leave this particular site administration page as it is. Leave that particular site administration page as it is. Click on new tab. Click on new tab. Click on the extension what you have saved. Click on the extension what you have saved. Remove the existing URL. Give the same URL. Give the same URL in new tab. Remove the endpoint, that is siteadmin.jsp. Remove the endpoint. Click on enter button. Click on enter button. Once again, you will get your home page. Okay. So right now, just now I gave. Bye. Okay. So just now I gave Jit as a user. Okay. I gave Jit as a user. What I need to do? I need to make him log in, right? So I'll go click on ALM desktop client. Okay. So what am I clicking on? ALM desktop client. So this Jit, he might be a developer, he might be a test engineer, or he might be any product manager as well as product owner. Okay. So what you need to do? You need to log in as a test engineer. Imagine this guy is a test engineer. So click on ALM desktop link. Follow my words. Click on ALM desktop link. So beautifully you can find the login page for ALM. Okay, so it will take some seconds. That's it. So it will, do not worry. Okay, unsupported configuration, you'll get just a warning message. Just say okay to that warning message. No issues. Okay, just say okay to the warning message. And guys, did you log in? Did you find this application lifecycle management? Everyone? I clicked on this new user icon. I got a new user page. I gave username as Jit and full name as Jit Jishnu, and I clicked on OK. Okay. So after I clicked on OK, I got a username and full name here. I just created a user. Okay, don't think about project resignation and all. I just created a user, just a user. So what I'll do, I'll take this username. The username is Jit. Okay, I'll just take this username. Keep in your mind, just take this username. Go to new tab. Click on new tab. Click on the extension what you have added. Give the same URL. Copy the same URL what we have given in site administration. Copy the same URL. Go to the new tab. Paste it. And just remove the endpoint, that is siteadmin.jsp. Remove this particular endpoint and click on enter. Follow my points. Click on enter. You can find this particular home page. Later on, you can find this ALM desktop link. Can you see this? The first one, the first link, ALM desktop client. Okay, so click on it. You will get a warning message. So say okay to that warning message, and you will get a login page to that particular user what you have created. So right now, what was the name I gave him? So the name was Jit. I'm just giving a username Jit, and I'm not giving any password. I'm asking that particular server to authenticate whether this particular user has been assigned with any projects or not. Okay, so I'll just authenticate, and it says that user Jit is currently not associated with any project. Please contact your project or site administrator. Got it? So you're getting a warning message. Okay, so right now girls are both boys and girls. I'm not looking only for possibilities. I'm also showing you an warning. What happens? Okay, what happens if the things goes wrong? Okay, so right now when you authenticate, it says that he is not assigned to any one of the projects. So what you need to do, go back to site administration, go to that particular user what you have created. You will get a user details. Adjacent to that, okay, beside of that user details, you can find user projects. Click on user projects, and you need to assign a project to him, right? So right now we have created a project called as Kester. So right now what you need to do, select project. Can you see this? Click on select project. On your right hand side, you can find the project names. Can you see? So right now, I have just created sales. So click on that plus icon so that you can find the project what you have created under the sales domain. So check that project and assign this project to this particular user, Jit. Okay. So Kester I have checked, and I will click on this arrow mark, add a current user to the selected project. So click on add current. So you can see this Kester is being added to this particular user. So who is this user? It is Jit Jishnu. Okay, and he is an active person. Okay, if you want to give a deactivation date also, you can give, but right now don't give. Okay, so right now this is a user who is assigned with the project. Okay, fine. Go back to the new tab what you have opened. Go back to the new tab. Enter Jit. Enter Jit. Don't give any password. We didn't set any passwords. Click on authenticate. Click on authenticate. Got it? Can you see this? By default, it is giving you the domain as well as project. By default, it is taking you to domain as well as project. By this, you can log in. By this, you can log in. Thank you. Okay, by this also, you can log in. So, if your Jit is asking, ma'am, what about password? I need password also. What you need to do? Go back as a site administration. Okay, go as a site admin. Can you see the password? You can set a new password for this. Yes, you can set a new password for this particular user. Okay. You can assign password for each and every user whom you are creating. Okay, so right now as an admin, I created user name with Jit, full name as Jit Jishnu. So right now, highlight that particular newly created user, and can you see password? Can you see a feature called password here? It's a button. Okay, so click on this. So this button also they are giving you one. Yes, they are describing that set the user password. Yes or no? They are giving a description also. So click on password. Give a new password. I'll give JIT123. I'll give password as JIT123 and I will retype the password also and I will click OK. The user password was changed successfully. Fine. So right now I need to check, right, whether really the password has been changed or not. So go to the new tab. Go to the new tab. Give the username JIT. What is the password? Just now we gave the password, right? So JIT123. And I will click on authenticate. So by default, it is taking the domain name as well as the project name what you have assigned to him. Everyone done? I repeat, you have to create a domain. Okay. You have to create a domain. You have to create a project. You have to assign projects to the user. For that user, you need to give proper credential, that is username and password. Got it? So after giving username and password, what you need to do? What you need to do? You need to open a new tab, give the same URL, give the same URL. Later on, give the username, give the password, click on authenticate, click on authenticate. When you click on authenticate, it should, your domain as well as project should be added automatically. Okay, it should be added automatically and login. Okay, login. Click on login. So right now this user JIT, okay, he can log into this particular ALM tool. Okay, so it is grandly welcoming you, saying that welcome application lifecycle management, and here you can see the guide. Okay, so it is welcoming you. Fine. So if you want to follow the instruction or read some documentation, you can go and read here. Okay, so right now I don't want to read the documentation. I'll just close this particular message. Okay, this particular message I can. Fine. So later on you can find this particular dashboard. Can you see this? Dashboard, management. So under management you can find release and all. Just log in as a user. Done? How many logged in as a user? Edit here only. Okay, so you can edit here and you can apply. Done. So right now, as a test engineer, what is your duty? You need to check for the module here. Can you see testing? You have to know about these testing. Okay, so what is your test resources? What is your business components? Then what is your test plan? What is your test lab? What about the build? What about the times? What about the test what you are running? So you should be really good at these many modules. Okay, then if you want to document, you can use any testing libraries. Okay, Then if you want to track down the defects, can you see the beautiful defect report? Can you see the defect report? So click on defects. You can find defect report, the actual, the assigned, the cast, the closed. So you can start finding the defect. See, this is the actual ticket or like a defect report. So whatever you have learned in your manual classes, with the same template, we have some add-on templates where you can assign, where you can check for the cars, you can close that build, you can close in version. So these are the defect. Okay, so you can give the closing date as well as comments. Okay, then can you find defect ID, then description about the defect? Okay, then you have deducted by, you can give a proudly you can give your name here, the test engineer's name. Then you can give deducted in which build, the build number, then deducted in cycle. Okay, so talking about cycle, can I say that it is a test cycle? Yes or no? Do you remember something about test cycle in your classes? Okay, so what is test cycle? Can anyone answer in the chat box? What is test cycle?
Testing one build completely.
Yes, the time taken to test, or the time or effort taken to test one complete build, we call it as test cycle. Yes or no? That means whether it was your 5th test cycle, whether it was a 3rd test cycle, you need to make a notification. Ma'am, how will I get a count? Yes, we have one more module called as releases. Okay, I'll be talking about that also. So we have release also here to know about the workflow. So that particular number also you will be giving here. Then you have, can you see one more component? The in which release you found this particular bug, whether it was in first release, whether it was in second release, whether it was in a 3rd release or not. Okay, then you can find the version on which platform or in which configuration you found that particular defect. Then on what date? Okay, if you don't give the date also, by default it will take system date. Okay, don't worry. So on what day you have found it, the date also it will ask. Then you have the next feature, on which environment you found this defect. Then how long did you find? Okay, so how long, whether your developer, how long whether they are taking to fix that particular bug, and what is your estimation. Okay, you're giving deadline also. Okay, based on the priority. Then is there any leakage, like defect leakage? Okay, then you have modification, you can plan. Okay, you have priority, you have project. Okay, you can also check for the status. Can you see the status here, whether it is a reproducible or not? If it is yes, you need to give the steps. If it is no, you need to give the proof. Okay, then you need to talk about the severity as well as the status, as well as, can you see status drop down button? Can you see closed, fixed, new, open, rejected, reopen, the same old things what you studied in manual testing? Yes or no? The theory is coming to practical here. So here you will start documenting your defect reports. Got it? So by giving various status. Okay, so here your senior developers also will be working, as well as you will get the conditions from your reviewer team also. Okay, then you'll be having subject. Okay, then you have summary, and if you're having any target cycle, you can write it. and you will be having also a target what you have released. Got it? So this is your original, or I can say live defect report, how exactly we can start framing. Okay, just analyze this defect report. You need to prepare a defect report. Start preparing a defect report. So whatever the columns you have studied in your manual testing classes, just fill those columns. Done. And here you need to just explore the one more module, that is testing module. Can you see this? Stop working, get back to the screen. So you have one more module, that is testing module. Okay, so in testing module you will find resources. Okay, so from where exactly you are doing your testing. Okay, that means whether what kind of requirements you are looking into. Okay, what is the folder number. Okay, you need to create a folder and you need to add your resources here. Okay, so later on, next, what kind of business components you are using. Nothing but what kind of business languages you are using. Okay, then you have test plan. Beautiful. Okay, so you will start creating your own test plan here, and you will file for attachment as well as you will work for live analysis. Okay, then you will be having your test lab. Okay, where exactly you want to find your testing. Okay, then you will be having build. Okay, you will be having your build verification suits. Okay, you will be also learning these things. Then you have your times, the estimation, like your chart. I can say that in your story point. Okay, so did you learn something about story point in agile methodology? Yeah, did you learn something about story point? Okay, you need to estimate the working hours of you. How long will you do the testing on that particular module? So such a timetable you need to assign here. Okay, so on Tuesday what will you do, on Thursday what will you do, on Saturday what will you do. Okay, again whether your shift, okay, whether you are maintaining, whether you are data processing, or whether you are doing functionality testing, or whether you are reading, whether you are doing build verification, each and every action of you should be noticed here. Okay, based on this they will check your work. Okay, yes or no? So based on the timetable what you have given here. Okay, next you have something called as test. So what was your execution ID? So again it is your test execution report. Okay, so what is your status, what is the state, what's your domain, how long did you do your testing, okay, who was the tester, how many is in draft. So you will also know about this test execution reports. Got it? You just want to sit and analyze, and tomorrow onwards we will enter. Okay, tomorrow I'll give you a last class. So we will start entering the data into this particular fields. Got it? So as a test engineer, mainly you have to concentrate on testing module. You have to concentrate on lab resources. You have to concentrate on defects. And if you are if you are belonging to performance, like performance test engineer means, you will be also working for this performance module where you have tools to be integrated. Then if you are really interested about the requirements, you can. Then if you want to know about your releases, yes, you can also create a release for yourself. Okay, I repeat, as a test engineer, you should be having a knowledge of management. You should be having a knowledge of requirements. You should be having a knowledge. You should have a great knowledge of testing. Okay, and you should know about the lab resources. Then you should know about the defects. This is important. Okay, without raising defects, people will not get to know that whether you are working or not. Then you need to know about performance. Okay, so we have development also. Nothing but this particular session is for your development, guys. Nothing but they will be having their own build. They will be having their code here. Got it? Just explore this application and do not make any changes in credential. Okay, so log in as a test engineer and enjoy. Nothing but like explore this particular application. Okay, and this is a live tool. This is ALM tool. Okay, so we test engineer, we are using the same tool to document our manual testing. Okay, so in dashboard it will ask you about the analysis also. You can go for the overview of your work. Got it? Yes, if you're having any doubts, you can stay back. If you're okay with the creation of domain, if you're okay with the project, if you're okay with the user, as well as your testing environment, as well as your defect environment, you can leave for the day. See you tomorrow, same timings. Okay.